Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Source 16 News at 10. Thanks for joining us. New this hour, the Christian County Board of Education held a special called meeting tonight and approved a contract between the Hopkinsville Police Department and Christian County Sheriff's Office to provide school resource officers. Under the contract, the Christian County Sheriff's Office is required to provide 2 deputies at the school district's high schools and a deputy for the alternative school. In addition, the Hopkinsville Police Department will be required to staff 3 officers at the school system's middle schools, along with an officer assigned to the elementary schools.
I've never had either one of them say, no, we're not going to do that, or no, that's not going to happen. I mean, you know, they say, hey, if I can help, that's what I want to do. So I'm sure if the chief, if we want to do a regular schedule, he'll work with us to do that. The sheriff will do that. I mean, I can't say enough about how both departments have been excellent for us to work with.
Another action, the school board also approved to keep its communications and community education director position, which is currently held by Reagan Honeycutt. Superintendent Brady Link says Honeycutt's position is very important to the school district.
Y'all know it's more community education than it is PR. I mean, it's a lot more involvement with, the things that we're doing in the school with involving the community. This Partners in Ed program, which has been a joint effort between the schools and the chamber. I'm telling you, Ms. Honeycutt spent a lot of time on that particular program, getting it off the ground. So there's a lot of community ed issues, and I think that's, for me, the most important part of this job is the community education part, because we need our community to be successful. And I think we have, for the most part, you're never going to get everything, but we have more people now. We have companies all over our county that are working with our schools.
Honeycutt recently turned in her resignation, and her last day of employment with the school district is tomorrow. In other news, police have arrested 2 Hopkinsville men in connection to a robbery and shooting on High Street yesterday afternoon. 23-year-old Jacobin McGregor and 22-year-old Benjamin Murray were taken into custody by Hopkinsville police last night and charged with first-degree assault, first-degree robbery, and first-degree wanton endangerment. Around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, police responded to 1935 High Street, Apartment 8, where they found 23-year-old Charles Thomas shot in the upper leg. He was transported to Jenny Stewart Medical Center for treatment, where he told police he was shot when he tried to wrestle the gun away from one of 2 suspects that had entered his apartment. Charles's brother, Chris Thomas, told police the 2 men knocked on the door and then demanded money. Police say McGregor and Murray were positively identified in a photo lineup by Chris Thomas, and McGregor was identified as the shooter. Both men are lodged in the Christian County Jail. A Hopkinsville man accused of murder entered a not guilty plea today during his arraignment in Christian County Circuit Court. Judge John Atkins then scheduled a June 29th pretrial conference for 44-year-old Tremell Smith, who is charged with murder, kidnapping, first-degree robbery, tampering with physical evidence, and knowingly receiving stolen property worth over $500. Atkins also denied a motion to reduce his $1 million bond to $250,000. As we previously reported, Smith is accused of suffocating and killing Susan James of Hopkinsville and dumping her body on the side of Christian Quarry Road off East 9th Street on March 1st. An accused dog killer appeared in Christian County Circuit Court today for another pretrial conference. Fort Campbell soldier Mark Staley of Denzel Drive, Hopkinsville, had his case continued until Wednesday, July 6th. According to Judge John Adkins, he postponed the soldier's case so that Staley could be evaluated at the Kentucky Correctional Psychiatric Center located in LaGrange. Staley is charged with 1 count of torturing a dog with serious physical injury and death. As we reported previously, the 20-year-old military veteran is accused of butchering his wife's dog just days after Christmas. According to his indictment on December 27, 2010, Staley's wife, Esmelda, told police that her husband skinned her dog and then reportedly gave it to her in a bag. The 42-year-old soldier is currently housed in the Christian County Jail on a $1,000 bond. Disaster preparedness and getting community support were the main topics discussed this afternoon during a Pennyroyal Regional Citizen Council meeting. Officials shared ideas and concerns about regional earthquake preparedness and how to get area residents involved in the planning process. Community emergency response team leaders also spoke about raising awareness on the upcoming large-scale national earthquake exercise next week called Shake, Rattle, and Roll. The guest speaker for today's meeting was Deputy Executive Director of the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, Aaron Horner.
Internet, mobile telephones, of instant communication. We forget what it was like 20 years ago when we didn't have these devices. And I think some of you all saw during the ice storm what will happen if you can't have power generators, you run out of fuel on cell towers, the communications goes down. And I think we have to remind people that not only to be prepared as far as the food, the water, the supplies that you need to have on hand, but also to be able to talk to your immediate family about how we're going to communicate. Where are we going to meet up if something like this happens?
Horner then spoke about a national initiative to report crime and suspicious activity.
It was our eyes and ears on Kentucky suspicious activities tip line. It's an 866-I-ON-KY, EYEONKY. It was it's a national effort, and you all may have heard the slogan at the national level of "See something, say something," that New York first adopted years ago. But it's a message that we've really tried to get out over the last few years with citizen corps and with just the general public. As you've seen, since we've gotten further away from 9/11, of course, we've gotten a little bit more complacent in how we interpret things. But suspicious activity are not suspicious people. They're suspicious events that occur in our daily lives.
Officials saying with the recent high amount of storms and weather activity, it's important for citizens to get involved with organizations like the Pennyroyal Regional Citizen Corps to help prepare them for disasters and to help protect them from criminals looking to take advantage of their misfortune. A memorial service for a Kentucky State Police trooper who drowned over 39 years ago will be held in Mayfield tomorrow. On April 8, 1972, Kentucky State Police say 37-year-old trooper James McNeely drowned during a rescue mission on the Kentucky River in Franklin County. Police say his body was never found. At the time of his death, Trooper McNeely was assigned to the Kentucky State Police headquarters in Frankfort, but he was a native of Wingo in Graves County, where a portion of Highway 339 is named in his memory. The memorial service will be held at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the Mayfield Memorial Gardens on Highway 45 South in Mayfield. Meanwhile, a Fulton County sheriff was among 24 fallen law enforcement officers who were recognized and honored by Governor Steve Beshear this week. In April 1925, Fulton County Sheriff James West was reportedly shot and killed as he and the county jailer attempted to arrest a man who had been making threats to neighbors. As the officers walked across the man's porch, the man opened fire, striking Sheriff West in the head. He had served as sheriff for 4 years. During the ceremony this week, the governor commemorated the lawmen who were killed in the line of duty between 1882 and 1972, but their names had not been added to the National Memorial until recently. The criterion for having a name placed on the Kentucky Law Enforcement Memorial is that it also be on the National Law Enforcement Memorial. Farmers who suffered losses of livestock due to the recent storms and flooding may be eligible for reimbursement from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Kentucky Department of Agriculture Commissioner Richie Farmer says farmers have 30 days after the livestock loss was apparent to submit a notice of loss with their local farm service agency, which is the first step toward applying for partial reimbursement under the Livestock Indemnity Program. To find out what documentation is required and for more information, call the Kentucky FSA office at 859-224-7601. That number again, 859-224-7601, or visit your local farm service agency. Due to the recent rain events, the Hopkinsville Surface and Stormwater Utility is asking Hopkinsville residents to notify them of any log jams along the north and south forks of Little River. If you have any information regarding log jams, please contact the utility at 270-887-4035. In other news, a 26-year-old Hopkinsville woman is facing a drug trafficking charge after she was arrested on a warrant last night. Hopkinsville police arrested 26-year-old Angela Sutton on the strength of an arrest warrant signed by Judge John Atkins on March 22nd. Sutton is charged with 2 counts of first-degree trafficking and a controlled substance, cocaine. She is lodged in the Christian County Jail. Now it's time for Hopkinsville Christian County Crime Stoppers Coordinator Officer Paul Ray with the featured fugitives of the week.
This week, Hopkinsville police need your help locating 2 wanted fugitives.
Police are looking for 39-year-old Idella Thompson Staten, who's wanted for probation violation. Staten is a black female who stands 5 feet, 4 inches tall and weighs 170 pounds. Her last known address was the 100 block of South Fowler Avenue. Police are also looking for 29-year-old Marcus Irvin Howard, who's wanted for probation violation. Howard is a black male who stands 6 feet, 2 inches tall and weighs 150 pounds. His last known address was the 600 block of West 2nd Street.
If you know where police can locate these wanted fugitives, and we've got cash waiting for you. Pick up your phone now and call our tips line at 887-TIPS. If your information leads to an arrest, Crime Stoppers will pay you a cash reward. And remember, we will never ask your name, and you will not have to appear in court. Well, this week's Fugitive of the Week, I'm Officer Paul Ray for Crime Stoppers.